We got quite a show for you guys. Jets wide receiver Davante Adams on the program. We have some Hall of Fame news. We got some Jets news to react to. Love that he is coming on the program on a bye week. Just incredible. We also have Rob Gronkowski, four-time Super Bowl champion. We're going to dip around the league. Excellent slate. And I'm going to dig into some things that we are not giving enough love to, or things that we need to point out. We've got some weird deep dives into the sick pupville of history. And we're going to do that right now. All right, Up and Adams on a Wednesday here. My last show in studio for a very long time. Very, very long time. I'm just going to get rid of this because it's making some noise. We got a big one today. It is time to turn the slate to Week 12. We got a big one in the AFC North tomorrow. Steelers at Browns. Steelers looking so good, so choice right now. Man, that Ravens schedule gets real tricky. So I feel like the Steelers going to take this thing. Ravens at Chargers, and they got some big, tough matchups. Steelers at Browns kicks it off. Vikings at Bears, of course. Steelers, by the way, 3.5 point favorites. Gronk and I are going to look at some props, which I'm still crushing him in. The game of the day to me is Niners-Packers. Green Bay, 2.5 point faves there. Purdy dealing with shoulder soreness, according to Kyle Shanahan. We still don't know what Kittle's status is going to be. This could be the Niners season, which is wild to think about. And the nightcap, that's a beautiful one, too. Eagles, 2.5 point faves over the Rams in LA. The Rams need this one if they're going to work their way back into the playoff picture. I do want to dig into some things that I think we are underreacting to. By the way, taking your questions for Davante Adams, for Rob Gronkowski here on the program. If the control room could do me one favor and just turn the IFB down, because I'm hearing it and I don't have it in my ear and it's mucking with me. So if we can just turn that off somehow back there, that'd be amazing. But if you guys have questions for any of these guys, let it rip about the slate, about the Jets, about the future of the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, a GM search. Wonder if Thomas Dimitroff is happy this morning. Big time friend of the show. Here's some things that we're not talking about enough. Bo Nix, of course, has officially entered the Rookie of the Year conversation. 4-touchdown performance. Win over the Falcons on Sunday. Sean Payton is living his best life out there at Mile High. I think we're underreacting to what a unique season he's having when it stacks, and you stack it up to other rookie quarterbacks historically. His ability to run this Broncos offense like a veteran, combined with the passing skills, the athleticism, he is a special player. And gosh, is he Offensive Rookie of the Year? I don't know. Currently, Bo, one of 5 quarterbacks in NFL history to have at least 10 touchdown passes, 5 total touchdowns, winning record in their rookie season. Unbelievable. He is hanging out with Dak Prescott, Andrew Luck, RG3, Bob Waterfield of the 1945 Cleveland Rams. Yep. We're sick pups around here digging into that kind of research. Dak and RG3 both won Rookie of the Year. Waterfield was the MVP that year as a rook. It can't happen in black and white and maybe in color. This is rare. It's very special, and it goes beyond that. The only other rookie to have this many passing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown was a quarterback that was on a team called the Los Angeles Dons from 1949, which Hamilton, I don't even know what it is. I don't know anything about them, but I know that they had a pretty special history-making quarterback, and you're going to take it away.
Yeah, so we actually have footage of that history-making quarterback, George Taliaferro. And I want to show this not only to put into perspective how long it's been since we've seen someone do what Bo's doing this year, but also as an homage to George. First Black player drafted into the NFL, the first Black quarterback to ever start an NFL game. These highlights are completely insane. He was a true triple threat, too, with over 1,500 yards passing, 2,000 yards rushing, and 1,000 yards receiving in his career. It's just, it's incredible. And just wanted to take a second to show some of this. To show how long it's been since somebody's done what Bo's doing right now.
Incredible footage. Sick pup deep dive by you. Amazing to see. He's just more comfortable every snap he takes. And, you know, I mean, and Sean, by the way, his sideline looks have been 10 out of 10. He's got, I don't know if he's got a sunglass deal, if it's Oliver Peoples and Tom Ford. Every week he's got these amazing shades. He's feeling himself. I think Sean's living his best life right now. I think he thinks that he is the best dude in the biz. And is he not? I mean, if you look at it, I know, whoa. I know the Jaden Daniels swarm. I know what's going to happen. But if you look at what Bo has done and then you look at these Rookie of the Year odds, let's have a conversation here, guys. Jaden Daniels still the odds-on fave. Well deserved. The gap is closing, though. Jaden, minus 550. Bo, plus 400 as of this morning. Bo has the Broncos in a playoff spot right now. If they beat the Raiders and Minshew on Sunday, Minshew likes a turnover. I'm not going to lie. They'll have a 67% chance to get in. Now might be a good time to hang out at FanDuel Sportsbook because Denver is still minus 110 to make the playoffs as of this morning. So Bo, credit to him, credit to Sean, credit to, and we're going to get into the culture. The culture that he has taken his time, and he's not, in my opinion, the most patient person, but he's really instilled that. They're buying in, and it's paying dividends. Very, very fun to see. We're also underreacting this morning, and yes, we have Davante Adams on the show. I think we're underreacting to that. How cool is that? Ahead of his bye week. I hope he's going somewhere fabulous. We have Rob Gronkowski on the program as well. Excited about that. But another sort of thing that we are not talking about enough, and I'd love to hear yours. Hit me up. If you're watching on MSG this morning, waiting for Davante to come on, what are we not talking about enough? What do we need to be talking about? I listened to some sports radio in New York yesterday. Boy, was that a mistake. We're underreacting to the decisions that Jonathan Gannon, Monty O, and this card squad have made over the last year. Yeah, let's NFC West this thing, okay? When it comes to how they've handled the quarterback situation, 5 stars, okay? Let's not forget. Just over a year ago, Kyler coming off an ACL injury, and if you look at this, Arizona was on track to have the #1 overall pick in the draft. There were a lot of people out there who thought they should just keep Kyler on the bench, they should tank, they should move on from him after the season, they should draft one Caleb Williams. But this org, Monty Baby, said absolutely not. They put Kyler right back in there when he was ready. They beat teams, strong teams, contenders, like the Eagles, down the stretch, and this set the tone, in my opinion, going into this year. Kyler, the numbers maybe don't jump off the page, if you neck and neck him with other quarterbacks, but he's having a super efficient season. He is posting career highs in passer rating and completion percentage. He's got 16 total touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. He's leading the league with 3 fourth-quarter comebacks this season. I'm impressed. Are you? It's a huge part of why this Cardinals squad is in first place in the West. They could take it. Okay, Niners, we're looking at you. Big one for you this weekend, sitting there at 5-5. For the first time all year, they're favored to win it all. Let's go. I declare victory on this -110. Okay, FD Sportsbook. A win at Seattle on Sunday gives them a huge leg up and should really bump Jonathan Gannon up in that Coach of the Year condo. He's getting the 4th shortest odds, by the way, at +650. Okay, so credit to what they're doing, what they believed in. They held their ground. You got Kyler in New York trying the pizza. He's ticking, he's talking. By the way, he doesn't like Joe's Pizza. He called it too saucy. He was unimpressed. Absurd. Kyler and I, we have a bumpy relationship, Kyler and I. We're on the outs right now after that take. Okay. Here's another one for you, something that we're underreacting to. In the midst, the foggy, scary, it's like Sandra Bullock with that, whatever that blindfold movie was on Netflix that everybody was freaking out about that I never watched. It's like that. This is the Bengals. They don't know, it's up and down. They can't find the rhythm. They're trying their best. They look awesome, and they might miss the freaking playoffs. I hate that. I do want to tell you why I hate that so much, and it's because Jamar Chase, what he's doing is unbelievable. He's currently on track to become the 5th receiver in the Super Bowl era to win the Triple Crown, okay? That means you lead the league in catches, baby. You're racking in more yards than anybody. You are TDing your face off more than anyone else. How rare is that? Let me tell you. Only Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, Steve Smith, and Cooper Kupp have done that before. He's also the first receiver since Randy Moss in 2007 to have 70-plus catches, 1,000-plus yards, 12-plus touchdowns at this point in the game. He's 1 touchdown pass away from passing Gronk for 2nd most touchdowns in NFL history before turning 25. These things are insane. They matter. Think about all of the great receivers and players. Only Randy would be ahead of him if he does this. He's driving up the price tag, people. This wide receiver market is weird. It's weird. It might change. I think it's in the midst of sort of a big change, as much as I don't want to hear it because I love when wide receivers get paid what they deserve and what they should. But there's stuff going on. These negotiations with the Bengals, he is up in the ante, okay? It's going to get hot after this season. For now, he and Joe, this is why you can't, and I'll bring in Hamilton here, even though I can't hear you. I want to hear what you have to say about this, and then I'll read your lips, and I'll watch it later, Hammy. You don't want to face them. Like, if they get in, this is like the dream. I have the helmet. They can still get in, right? I mean, you can talk about that a little bit, but like, you want to face them on Wild Card Weekend? Get the F out of here. That is the last team you want to face. Like, if they can sort of just squeeze and shimmy WD-40, do whatever you need to do, just slide on into that playoff thing, then I would almost say they're going to run the gamut and win the whole thing.
Yeah, and they are still scary when you look at the talent that's there and the way these guys are playing. And they do have, if you go by the New York Times playoff projections, all that, they do have a 13% chance of getting in still, which obviously not great. But the path is there for it to happen, and they do kind of control their path if they win out the rest of the way.
Yeah. Love seeing that. We're going to get to more here on the show, but just incredible what he's doing. If you look at their schedule, they can find a way to beat Pittsburgh out the bye. They've got this legit shot, plus 440 to get in. 13% chance, like we're saying. They get the Cowboys, they get the Titans, they get the Browns. 3 pretty winnable games. I mean, it's hard to win any game in the NFL. I'm sort of trying to will this. I want all my fave guys to get in and contend. I don't know, winning out, if they do that, then the chance becomes 94%. Woo! It's going to take an incredible run. Things are hanging by a thread, but I cannot look past what Chase and Burrow are doing and abandon hope there. So that's my thought for Bengals fans. We're going to take a short break here. Rob Gronkowski, who we just aforementioned, is on the program and sending him off on his bye week. We have the incredible Davante Adams, who's having a formative year in his insane, amazing career. Cannot wait to talk to Davante after this. All right, we got Rob Gronkowski coming on the show. Welcome back. Sending him off to a bye week is my next guest. My favorite wide receiver. Favorite, I said it. A 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, Davante Adams. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning, Kate. How you doing?
I'm okay. I mean, there's never a dull moment between us. It's good to see you.
That is true. It's good to see you, too.
You have a decade of bye weeks, Davante. A decade, 10. This is number 11 for you. Have you ever looked forward to one more than this one?
I don't know that I've ever looked forward to one quite as much as this one. This one is much needed at this point. It's obviously been a very eventful year. So just with everything I've gone through and over the past, since August, I definitely think that this is needed right now.
I counted the days. It's 35 days that you've been there. Does that seem long or short? It seems very short for me. I feel like you've lived through many chapters in your book there.
Yeah, I think it seems long and short. It seems like time's been flying by, but there's been a lot of events that have occurred since I arrived here. And more games than what, it feels like it's been like 3 weeks. But when you look back and you think about, got here for Pittsburgh and got that full weekend, it's been some time. So we need to reboot for a minute for sure.
And you'll get to do that on a bye week. I hope you're going somewhere fabulous. And I'm sure you'll be thinking about a lot of things. We've got a lot to get to that I'm excited to talk to you about. I love that you came on the show. Like, you could definitely have said, like, absolutely not. I'm just over it. I want to go. Like, it's your bye week. Can I just say, like, you're a rare cat. Like, that doesn't happen. And please don't think that I don't see that you could easily have not come on the show. And I'm so appreciative. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I mean, a lot of that goes to who you are as well. I don't think that, in the condition, the mental condition, and not that it's a state of depression or anything like that, but obviously having the standard that I do and being in the position that I am right now and, all the changes that have been made, it is easy to, just hide under a rock or, try to, hide under the cover. But at the end of the day, you're a great person. You're easy to talk to. So sometimes, this may be my therapy at times. So might need it today.
Thanks for saying that. I've been thinking about you a lot since this happened. And obviously, I mean, not to bury the lead, Joe Douglas is fired yesterday. You're going about your Tuesday. I'm hoping packing to go on vacation. I'm hoping spending time with family, getting work in. Yeah, I'm sure you are. This is a formative time for you. Like, there's a lot of lessons in this. There's a lot of things to think about. And thinking about it from your lens, when you hear this news about Joe Douglas, what is going through your head?
I mean, it's surprising, but it's not, just because the way that this game goes, and when games aren't being won and things don't look the way that they were intended to look, something's got to change. Dealt with something similar as far as it wasn't the obviously I wasn't technically here yet for the head coaching change here, but going through that in Vegas, when things aren't working, typically things get moved around. You got to adjust some furniture. So, you kind of anticipate it coming just based off of the scope of the season and the way that we have been looking as a team. And, they got to place the blame or, put accountability on somebody. And oftentimes it winds up on the coach and, the management, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. And it's not for me to say whether or not it's the right thing to do or not. I'm just getting here and I'm still learning about, the way things work in this building and the way things have been in this building. So I'm not here to talk about whether or not it was supposed to happen. I'm just saying that's just typically how it goes.
What was your relationship with him like? Young, but what was it like?
Yeah, it was, very young. I got here, I think, October 15th or something like that, and all my interactions with him were amazing. He's one of the most down-to-earth guys, and to be a general manager, and I mean this from the most respectful way, you would never know he was the general manager just by the way that he kind of moves around, which is something that I appreciate. You don't want a guy that walks around like he wears the big draws every day. You want somebody that's relatable, kind of has a calm demeanor to him, and he definitely had that. He was easy to talk to, and obviously a big reason of why I'm here in New York now. So I got nothing but respect for him, and as far as all the other stuff, that's not my job to make those decisions on anything. But I had nothing but good interactions with Jody.
I think it's important. I love that you're saying that. There's a real idea out there that you weren't a Joe guy, that other people came up top and said, you know, whether it's ownership or Aaron, I think everyone understands Aaron wanted you there, of course, and the team wanted you there, but that maybe you weren't Joe's guy and it wasn't really his decision. Like you're saying, no, you felt like Joe supported and went after you and valued you, wanted you on the team.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I mean, like I said, every conversation that I had with him, every conversation that I was reported to from Aaron about, you know, his feelings about it, you know, prior to me even getting here was all positive. So I didn't know, you know, I don't pay attention to anything that's being said out there. So I had no idea that was even a thing. You know, people thinking that, you know, I wasn't a Joe D guy. I didn't even know that was a narrative, but definitely not true.
I mean, there's a lot of narratives out there. I mean, Twitter has blown this whole thing up, Davante. Twitter has said, Aaron's done. Aaron's not a Jet next year. You're not a Jet next year. You know, what do you think? I mean, that's what the world is saying.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm worried about at this very moment is trying to make sure that we pack the car seats for this trip that I'm going on. And that's really all that I'm focused on. Whether or not I'm here next year, I can't determine that. I'm not really thinking about next year. I'm thinking about trying to get a few more wins before we get out of here. Because if you bet me $1 million, I would have taken the bet. We would not have only had one victory right now. And, you know, football is a tough sport. And obviously you look at it, people are obviously going to talk about whether or not it was the right thing to do for me to leave, teasing at the fact that, you know, not much has changed as far as the record, or, you know, I haven't gone for 100 yards many times. And it's just a bunch of people just doing what they do. And it doesn't bother me at all. I don't, honestly, like I said, I don't pay any attention to, you know, the chatter on the outside. And when I say I don't pay attention to it, I don't read it, any of it. Anything that I do here doesn't really matter to me, because if I had, you know, if they think I was the best in the world still or whatever, it's still not going to have any bearing on the way that I play. So I'm not really concerned on that. It's more about trying to make sure I get the most out of this season at this point. And regardless of whether or not it was the right thing to do, it was the right thing for me to do to come here and change scenery. And I think there's no denying that things are different. We haven't won the games that we were maybe supposed to win or, you know, hoping to win. But when you look at the situation I was in Vegas, and you look at the situation I'm in here, you know, with the way that this offense is able to, the potential of this offense, or at least I at least feel hopeful that, you know, going into the next game that we'll be able to have a good performance. And just based off of, you know, different variables in Vegas, I started to not feel that way, you know, even about myself and what I was able to go out and, you know, contribute week in and week out. And there may be games where I have, you know, 40 yards or something like that. And, you know, I don't rock the stat sheet, but I still have a feeling that going into that game, we're going to be able to do our thing on that, you know, minimum the offensive side of the ball, because that's the only side that I can, you know, have something to do with. So at least just not feeling just helpless and hopeless, you know, that at least, you know, makes me feel better knowing I came here, gave it the shot. I'm still working with somebody that, you know, I have a lot of confidence in, and still can play ball at a high level. We just got to find a way to execute better and more consistently. And that's really what it comes down to.
I'm hearing no regrets.
No, I don't live my life like that. You'll drive yourself crazy. You know, hindsight's always 20/20. So you can sit here and look at it now and say, oh, I could have maybe stayed there, would have been more comfortable, wouldn't have had to move and all that stuff. But for me, it's about going with my gut in my life, and that's how I make my decisions. I live with them, you know, and we'll roll the dice and see what happens. And it's not really a gamble even in this situation. It's more of it's almost like an inference. It's calculated based off of, you know, we're talking about playing with Aaron Rodgers here too. This isn't like taking some crazy gamble, going somewhere with some rookie that's unproven. You know, neither of us have played as good as what we're capable of playing, but when you're rolling the dice, you'd hope that it's, you know, favoring you more. You know, you got trick dice. It still might not work, but we try to and trying to do everything that we can, and still going.
Do you regret not going earlier? It sounds like you feel like you're onto something. Like, do you wish you would been there earlier?
Well, I mean, when like I said, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
So when you look at the 2023 season, obviously, I don't know that going there earlier would have helped at that point because he obviously wasn't playing. So that wasn't the goal there. But I gave it the shot, and I don't regret not going earlier because I really felt like I wanted to be a Raider, and I wanted to really give it everything that I could to stay there and rock it out with my teammates while I was there. And then there came a point where I realized that wasn't where my heart was, and something needed to change, and this was the change that I wanted, and the change that I have to live with and make the most of. So we're not dead in the water, and we still got a chance. And at the end of the day, if we didn't have a chance, you still be seeing my best effort out there, and I'm gonna do everything I can to try to win every game. I'm a part of, regardless.
You want to play meaningful games. I see it. I see it out there, and you are giving it your. I really do. I see it. You want meaningful football. You truck in Kenny Moore. Let's just get to, just quickly interject. I have more I want to ask about this, but this is the max effort. This is not, people want to say hopeless. This is not hopeless. This is not hopeless Davante Adams, by the way.
Yeah, that's a little bit of frustration. Unfortunately, Kenny's a great dude too, but he caught the bad end of that just based off of the way the game started. I mean, we didn't get a first down till 2 minutes left in the first half, so I was pretty pissed off at that point. And I got 3 kids too. That's the other thing. So sometimes you got that dad strength. There's nothing they can do about it.
What does that mean? Where do the 3 kids factor in? What are you talking
about?
You
never heard about?
No, I don't have kids. Tell me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much it would factor in for you. It's usually a thing with men. You have kids and you get that dad strength where you can be weightlifting strength, but you are weightlifting strong, but then you got kids, and now that's just a whole different, because it's almost like your genetic makeup changes a little bit because now you got kids to protect. So that's what the strength was. It was a strength. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
I love it. I like that there's hope. I'm still trying to understand for the people who think, they're going to go back to the decisions and the whatever. And it is interesting. And I'm totally with you. Like there's no world of regret. But what are you seeing in this 35 days that gives you the hope? Or where everyone wants to throw that culture word around with the Jets. How have you seen the culture change since you've been there?
Well, believe it or not, I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that people, measure the culture change on is winning. So no one's going to agree with what I'm saying because you're not a part of the organization, nor are you there, day in and day out to experience, just the difference in the feeling in the building. And from an attention to detail standpoint, energy levels, the way guys are preparing, the way we practice, all of those things are, I mean, from the first week to now, not that I'm not trying to make it like I came in and I'm some like God that came in and changed something, but just having been in a situation playing for multiple, really successful teams in Green Bay, having really good vets in front of me, I know what it looks like when you're doing it the right way. So I try to come in and shed that on a couple guys, and everybody received it really well. And you could tell in the way that they go out and play, in the way that we stay together and persevere and play a horrible half like how we did, and then come out and, score, almost 30 points. And, got to find a way to finish the games at the end of the day, whether that means us finishing better on defense or going out and scoring on that last drive without not having a field goal, just to make it to where, obviously it's an untouchable game. So we got to do what we got to do to finish it. But I've definitely seen big changes from the team as far as the coach is concerned.
The team is close, like those 27 points, 30. Like it's right there. You and Aaron are so close. Big reason why there are no regrets. This is like just the confidence that you have in him. People are losing that confidence in him. There is a world, and I hate to say it, there is a world where he's not a Jet next year. Have you two? How many times have you two talked about the future of Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams?
At this point, it's really not something that gets brought up day to day because we both have a positive mindset in the way that we want to attack every week. So if we get to talking about him, being on a different team, me being on a different team, like that's just not what we need in our heads right now. We got to put nothing but positive energy and thoughts out there and just keep working. I mean, we got 6 weeks left, and like I said, we're not out of it. So the chances are really low. We see all the percentages and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, all we can do is, worry about the next game. So right now, this week, we got a bye week. So everybody's going to reboot, hopefully, and get our minds off football for a minute, spend time with families, and reconnect on the things that really matter in life. Because, with the job that we have, it's easy to lose sight of that. And when I come home and see my kids, that's the type of things that reminds me of, that I'm winning in life. So even if we don't, get a victory on a Sunday, they don't care about that, and all they want to do is go to the beach. So that's what we get ready to do.
And that's what you're going ready to do, and I'm so glad for you. I mean, you told me happiness was a priority, and being in a contender is a priority. If those are still the things that are leading you, is that New York?
I hope it is. I see us being a winning organization here, regardless of what people see on the outside. This year has been very 22 Raiders, where we're not far off from, having a completely different record. And just so happens that you don't get any cancellation prizes. You got to finish the game, and you got to win the games for, to get a tally in that column. So we got to do better finishing, and, there's no excuses to be made, but that's just the reality. We're a team that's really close, and it's just unfortunate we haven't finished enough, but still pushing to finish hard.
And we'll see what happens. You have a bye week now, and you are winning in the fact that, did you know that this hoodie that you're wearing, let's get into this, which I don't have one, by the way. We
can change that.
Thank you. Well, I don't know if you can, because this collab that you have going on with Taco Bell and DA17, it's an exclusive. There was a drop of like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hoodies, and it sold out in under a minute. Who are you, Taylor Swift? What's happening?
I guess. I don't know. These New York folks out here showing love, I guess, or I don't know. Maybe some of the 017 Green Bay Vegas fans. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna find a way to win one way or the other.
Well, you're winning. What's with the hoodie? Because there's Tuesday drops every week, and there's like exclusive offers with food and stuff. And there was an opportunity to get this, and now nobody can get them anymore. Oh, that's a sweet. I love that photo. It's a stylish green hoodie, perfect tunnel fit. We love to see it. And then it sold out. How did that feel? That's amazing.
That's a great feeling. When I got that information, I was, because obviously what we're going through, you never know how people going to receive it, and they may not like it just strictly based off us not winning right now, but it just shows how, how many loyal fans I do have, and how many loyal fans there are of Taco Bell and the Live My Smoothie.
Love Taco Bell.
I didn't know the world was that fun, but I love it, and I'm glad that they showed love like that, because under a minute in hundreds and hundreds of units, that's a big deal to me.
People love their Taco Bell. People are going to support you, just the way you live your life, how earnest and honest you are, genuine and authentic. But I did see you signing a hamburger bun, and I feel like Taco Bell is going to be like, excuse me, that's not a taco shell. Don't sign that. What happened?
Maybe we'll get burgers next. I don't know.
I feel like Taco Bell's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any M branding or nothing on there. Look like a regular bun.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever signed? That has to be up there.
Hamburger bun. I would say more so than a hamburger bun. In Green Bay, I signed a brat and somebody ate it.
No.
I didn't. I signed the brat and then he put it in the bun and ate it.
No.
And I wouldn't have signed it had I known, because I feel like that was kind of weird. I don't know what the idea was behind eating something that but I don't know.
It begs the question, the guy who had you sign the hamburger bun, like, what's he going to do with that? Like, he's going to have to eat it.
I asked him. He said he's going to make a burger and send me a video on social media, which I'll never see, because I'm not even sure I know how to check my DMs from people I don't follow.
Which I love.
But
I do want to. I know you don't like. I need to show. There was breaking news this morning. I wanted to show you, which I think you'll like, because you love the game. We are down to the 25 modern era players named for semifinalists for the Hall of Fame. I want you to look at the receivers. Who do you want to give extra love to out of this incredible list? What do you think?
Picking one?
No, just like, what are your thoughts? Like, it got whittled down. These are the guys, like, who's a surefire thing, or who sticks out to you?
Yeah, this is a great list right here. This is a really, really good list. I say I've always been a big Steve Smith fan, just because, he's such a dog and always been that way.
Incredible.
And so I gotta put him in there. I got a special love for talk about dog, Hines Ward. One of the toughest receivers of all time, probably the toughest. And then Reggie, I was just talking to Reggie a few days ago at the game, pregame, and got to rap with him after the game for a minute. So I got to throw my guy Reggie in there too. It's a hell of a. I mean, all those guys are amazing and really all deserve a spot. But if I had to go with the top three, those are my guys right there.
I love it. Great to see it. Great to see you. You go live Moss somewhere, my friend. Take your time. I know you'll miss the Taco Bell in your house, but go enjoy some living Moss elsewhere.
Well, I don't have a Taco Bell in this house in Jersey, so I am missing it back in Vegas though. So when I get back, I'll be on that. But yeah, it's a little gloomy here, so I'm gonna take off about 30 minutes here and go somewhere warmer.
I love that. Enjoy. Love to the family. Appreciate you. Love the smile. Take that. People who want to bring people down, because there's hope. There is facing the music. There is somehow compartmentalizing. You've seen this before, and that locker room is lucky to have you to take it through this one.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Kay.
Thank you. Always. Have a good time. Cheers. Live Moss. Amazing. Under a minute, selling out hundreds and hundreds of hoodies with Taco Bell, which we love a Baja Blast, and we love a Rob Gronkowski. Oh, hello. Ralphie. All right, Ham. I just love him.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
Get into what?
The props.
Oh.
Gronk is ready.
Was there something I didn't ask? What did I miss?
I think we got into everything because he got a little into some stuff before he even asked it too. I think he did a good job just kind of reading where he was at.
Gosh, I really wonder if he'd gotten there earlier.
Yeah. It is hard at that juncture too.
I don't know what to ask about Woody. It's like not like what's like I don't know like what would be the Woody question.
I guess I think there's people just curious about the relationship there that he has with the players, with the team.
I mean,
there's a lot
nobody
of
knows
stuff
anything.
there.
Everybody thinks that he like Joe didn't want him, that Woody came over the top and didn't want him. Like,
yeah. It seems pretty clear from what he said about Joe Douglas. Yeah. Not the case. And whenever you have stuff going on like this within an organization, you get people telling their sides from their vantage point, and you can't necessarily believe everything you read, depending on the source.
I'm trying to think if I buy that they don't. Him and Aaron don't talk about it. Haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
But I kind of.
I mean,
I believe Davante, whatever I don't think he's lying, but I think it's hard to believe because I'd be anxious beyond belief. But I also believe how they operate, and they're so you really have to be. I talked to a coach this morning about it. The ability of Davante in particular to compartmentalize is something that isn't talked about enough. And you have to be able to do that. And I actually do now, based off what I talked to somebody about earlier. They probably don't because he was super genuine. They're like, it's not going to help anything to focus on that right now.
Yeah, and he did stress the right now, and that it's not something they're talking about every day, and not that it's something they haven't talked about. Yeah.
Like a rep.
The old world tight end, the 6'7" freak. You can call me the GOAT. Rob Gronkowski. Touchdown! Oh my goodness. Go. Holy guacamole. The greatest of all time. Yo, they call me GOAT.
My next guest, a four-time Super Bowl champion, future Hall of Famer, host of the Dudes on Dudes with Gronk and Jules podcast. Edelman, nice enough to join us last week. I don't have any surprise guests for you, but we have from Fox NFL Sunday, Rob Gronkowski, and you have a guest.
Yes, Kay, how you doing? I got Ralphie here. He's usually a typical guest here on the show, but it's been a while, but I've been away from him for about 2 weeks. And I just got him back last night, so he's all over me, and he's not leaving my side right now. So wherever I'm going, he's right there. So he's
so
probably
cute.
going to be on the show the whole time.
I love it. We love that. You just heard, how much of that Davante did you hear? A good
I didn't
bit?
hear much of it. I just heard about all the Taco Bell stuff and his outfits and all that good stuff, which I like it. I like that hoodied out outfit that he had with the sweats as well, from head to toe. So he was looking good, and all his Taco Bell commercials. I love him. I love him.
There's drama, of course, going on. It's never a dull moment for Davante Adams. He gets there. He's been there for 35 days. A coach gets fired mid-trade. Now we have the GM is fired on Tuesday. They're leaving for a bye week. If you're like, what even happens here? What are your thoughts when you heard this is happening?
I mean, it's a show going on over there with the New York Jets right now, and it's a tough situation. I mean, I feel for all the guys over there. You never want to be in an organization that's just falling every single week in and week out, and there's just really no positives throughout the whole situation, and especially when expectations were just so high and they just been playing at such a low standard. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, they try to do everything, obviously starting off with firing Coach Robert Saleh, bringing in Davante Adams, bringing in all the other guys that Aaron Rodgers wanted as well. Now they're firing their GM. I mean, it's just a firestorm. It's rough. I don't really know much else to say because there's been so much said about it already.
Yeah.
But they're the laughingstock of the league right now is kind of the way to put it, which isn't good. I mean, we wanted to see the Jets compete this year. I wanted to see them compete. It would have been good for the NFL. It would have been good, for the city of New York as well, because it's the biggest market in all of football. So it's a tough situation.
Tough situation. I was talking to Davante about it, and I was asking him, have you thought about your future? How many times has this come up with Aaron in the past week, 2 weeks? Like, am I done here? Are we done here? So if you look at it, and NFL players can compartmentalize more than anybody, but you're not in it week to week like Davante is. Let's talk about the future. Do you think Aaron's done?
Well, the future, if you're a player and you're on the team, I would try to keep it to a minimum because that would just become a distraction, obviously, at the moment as well. And how many more distractions can they take? And how much, how much more of a beating can they take in this media? I mean, we all know New York media, is rough as well. They're going to be on top of it weekly, and they're going to be on top of it daily. So whatever they're thinking in the future, I would say just keep it within themselves, and then just have kind of a game plan. But also, what's most important is if you want to be playing football next year, if you want to be in a good, location, a good spot on a good team, wherever you want to be, whatever your plan is, you got to still go out there and perform. You got to go out there and show that you can compete and that you're ready to go and you're ready to play with the top of the with the top teams in the league and the top players in the league. So it's like you're kind of like in a tryout right now. The last 5-6 games, you got to go out there and you got to, put up points and possibly win some games if you want a good chance next year.
Aaron Rodgers wins out, comes off this bye, wins out, looks okay. Is he playing? Is he the Jets quarterback week 1?
Hold on. Are we going with, will they make the playoffs? What's their record right now?
They have a 1% chance of making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they're not making the playoffs.
Right, so you're almost saying it's an audition.
Yeah, it's an
Aaron
audition.
Rodgers is auditioning for the Jets or for other teams, both, and that, I don't know. Let's talk it out.
That's a tough situation because what if he doesn't even want to be on the Jets next year? So then he's not going to try and win every single game, because then the Jets will be like, oh, wow, all right, we just saw that improvement. That's what we've been looking for the whole time. Well, Aaron, we want you on the team, but then he'll be like, wait a second, I don't want to be here. I want to be on another team. But I'm telling you, you keep jumping ship. That's tough in the NFL to keep jumping ship and have the chemistry with players and the chemistry with the organization. And usually you got to build within the organization in order to build a good team, in order to build that, that camaraderie between everyone as well, So I would say he is auditioning for his NFL career. Just not for the Jets. I feel like
if they win out, there's a 31% chance they make the playoffs. So it's looking very bleak. I guess I'm just what happens with Aaron Rodgers? Guess. Like what do you think happens?
Well, does he have another year on his contract?
It's very, very expensive, and they can certainly part ways with him.
All right. I feel like they're going to start over. I feel like the Jets are going to start over. They've already gotten rid of their head coach, GM. They got that quarterback I think they drafted as well, who's a pretty decent prospect, who's a rookie this year, so he's probably learning. They could possibly go with him. Travis, right, from Florida State?
Yeah, and then they've got Tyrod Taylor, who would probably then be the week 1 starter next year, and on and on we go, I guess, depending on, I mean, the GM could come in there and say, I like Aaron. Aaron gives us the best chance to win. Let's keep him. Or Aaron, they want to start over, and then I don't know where Aaron goes. I don't know. I think it's something that I'm sure is weighing heavy on them as they try to make something happen and get some wins. If you could pick, not team even, if you could pick which coach in the NFL you think would work best with Aaron Rodgers, who's that coach?
Like a coach that is currently coaching, or just anyone out there? Just anyone.
Maybe anyone out there, wherever you want to take it.
Anyone out there. Ooh, man. I would say John Gruden. John Gruden would be a good choice.
So John Gruden potentially could come in and take over the Jets.
He brings that passion.
If you get this right.
He loves the game of football, just loves the energy that football brings, to the table. John Gruden loves a nice, solid quarterback. He definitely does, no doubt about it. And that would be the fit. I would like to see that happen. That's how Aaron Rodgers stays with the Jets. He has to have a GM and a head coach that comes in, you're right, with what you just said, that wants Aaron Rodgers as well. If they don't want Aaron Rodgers, then he's going to get departed. If they want to restart. So it all depends on who the head coach and GM is going to be next year. But if you get a guy like John Gruden, that would be pretty special to have him team up with Rodgers.
Would you want Aaron Rodgers? You're watching him play. You're seeing what this offense looks like. Davante Adams saying, truly, ride or die. This is my guy. With the wins that aren't coming and the things that aren't happening, and the idea that we were going to get Peyton Manning, Broncos, we were going to get Tom Brady, Buccaneers. I mean, if you're a Gruden, do you want Aaron Rodgers? What do you think of Aaron Rodgers at this point right now?
I mean, watching him play, he can still sling that ball. I mean, his release is ridiculous. I've been just mind blown over that, how he can just get the ball out so quickly over the last 10 years. It's just incredible. No one else has that, has that ability to do what he does with the ball in his hands. So I still think he has it. It's just that whole situation, New York, the New York media, the Jets just never being good as well over the last 10 years. I kind of feel like he needs to go into a situation where it's like a for sure go, meaning this team is ready to rock and roll in all situations. Like the Jets, they had a good team, they had good players, but they weren't truly ready to rock and roll. They don't know. They don't know how to win games. The organization doesn't know how to win. Obviously, it shows over the past decade. He needs to go somewhere like the Broncos were loaded up. The grenade launcher was ready to shoot when Peyton Manning got there, and that's why he was so successful, and they just needed that quarterback. Same with the Buccaneers, kind of. I mean, they just needed that quarterback, to take them to the next level. I mean, they had the wide receivers, the defense, and everything. But with the Jets, I mean, they just don't know how to win. So put him on a team that's ready to win. I think he'll be fine.
Rodgers on the Broncos right now. Super successful? Killing it?
Oh. I mean, that would be pretty cool to see, but that's not going to happen though next year. Bo Nix.
No, of course. I'm just saying. I'm trying. I think people think that Aaron is cooked. I think there's a lot of people out there that think he's done. That we're going to see these games. We're not going to see him anymore. I'm hearing that a lot.
I think if you put the support around him, I think he can still go and he can still sling the ball. He just needs that. He needs that offensive line that can really keep him healthy and keep him untouched. I mean, maybe sacked there and there and knocked to the ground there and there. You're never going to keep a quarterback totally untouched. But he needs a true lineman that he can be in the pocket and truly know he can count on them. So he has that just sense of mind of just being free back there. And on top of it, he needs a true good core of wide receivers and a tight end and a running back. And then I think he'll be able to spread that ball around and do what he has to do. He can't carry the whole entire offense. I mean, he's not 30 years old.
Do you think he's carrying the whole offense?
No, not at all.
Because the Jets have Garrett Wilson, and they've got Davante Adams, and they've got Breece Hall.
Yeah, they do, but like they never won together. It's not been a team that has that chemistry of knowing how to win games. So
there's something off.
There's something off there. He needs to go where they know how to win games and know how to get it done.
Yeah, well said. We're going to take a short TV break here, but I want to ask you about Deion Sanders, and this is exactly why you guys should be watching the YouTube Live. Speaking of coaching, dude, everybody's trying to link Deion Sanders to every potential NFL head coaching job. How a season winning changes everything, right? He shuts it down yesterday, your boy Deion, and he says, "I'm happy where I am." Do you buy that, or can we see him in the NFL somewhere next year?
Well, I really appreciate that he said that, because it's all about winning right now at the University of Colorado. He has his kids there. He has Travis Hunter there. So if he said anything else, I would have been disappointed. I mean, he wants to go out there. He has a chance of making the playoffs, which is kind of ridiculous. His second year in Division I football at the University of Colorado, literally one of the worst programs in history over the last 10 years. And then he takes them and he makes a name out of himself last year with the Colorado Buffaloes. And then this year they have only 2 losses, which is absurd. He should be coach of the year. So I'm proud of him for not, taking the bait of saying that he wants to go to the next level and coach in the NFL. It's about right now, and that's what he's all about. And he wants his players on his team. He owes them his full commitment, and that's what it's all about as a coach. Possibly after this season, I can see him definitely, taking those phone calls. I mean, why wouldn't he? But right now, I love how he's focused on just taking care of the Buffaloes.
I mean, Michael Irvin yesterday said that if the Cowboys draft Shador, Deion's going to Dallas. Are we in on that?
I like that. I mean, I am in on that. I mean, I would want to see that as well. I think that would be great for football. I'm a guy that loves to see entertainment, and that's entertainment right there. And there's guys out there, and Jerry Jones, he loves the entertainment factor as well, 100%. Especially, even with the Cowboys, loves the entertainment factor. I was there at the fight last week, and he does such a great job bringing that energy to the stadium, and it's just a great feel, and everyone loves it, and it's a great night for everybody, and it's the same type of feel for the Dallas Cowboys, which sometimes I think could be a distraction, bringing that, party, to the practices and the party to the pre-games. It can distract the player a little bit, but I think the only coach out there that can handle that is Deion Sanders, 100%. So I would love to see that fit. Everyone would love to see that happen, and besides non-Cowboys fans.
You're with Shaq in Vegas. Not Vegas, Dallas. I forgot.
Yeah, Dallas.
Nobody corrected me. I caught myself there. Yeah, you were in Dallas. You kind of cheated on our draft because, you literally were there with Shaq, and you picked him, but I'll allow it. What's going on? Are you two going to fight? Where are we in this thing?
I mean, it wasn't really cheating knowing that Shaq was going to be there when we picked who our celebrities were going to be that were going to be at the fight. So it's just inside information, and I won that bet. You're winning profit shots, so I finally won a bet. So I'm proud of this bet that I won, Kay. But Shaq and I, we were just chilling. We actually sat right next to each other, front row of the fight, which was really cool. I didn't even know. I knew Shaq was going to be there, but I didn't know that he was going to be directly next to me. And let me tell you, I understand what it's like when people sit next to me, because I was sitting next to Shaq and he took half of my seat. And then I was literally like this, sitting on my seat. I had about a quarter of it because Shaq was taking up the other half. So I understand.
It was amazing. It was amazing because to see somebody taller than you was just, it's like seeing a unicorn. It was wild to see. Such a fun fight. Great job by Sibley Skulls, who was interviewing you two. Love her. Thought it was such a good vibe, and that was amazing. We're gonna do some prop-a-shot. You keep bringing it up because you want to do well. But Hammy, let's rapid fire this thing. Go.
All right, let's start with you, Gronk. Russell Wilson's line for passing touchdowns is set at just half a touchdown pass. So does he get one, or do the Browns shut him out?
Oh, Russell Wilson, he's definitely having a touchdown pass. No doubt about that, Hamilton. Let's go.
All right, Kay. Jerry Jeudy's line for receiving 44.5 yards. Over or under?
Jerry Jeudy in the headlines this morning. What's his Madden score? Saying over. Over his 3 games with Jameis. He's averaged 98 yards a game. Steelers defense is good. I'm still going to go over.
All right, Gronk. Jameis Winston's line for passing 204.5 yards. Over or under?
Well, teams are averaging about 214 yards versus Pittsburgh Steelers, so I'm going over.
All right, Kay. Najee Harris rushing yards 64.5. Over or under?
This is a very serious one, Gronk. I mean, he hasn't hit that mark in 2 weeks. I'm going to say he goes over because he's faced some tough defenses. He's still getting the volume. Over.
All right, Gronk. Anytime touchdown score for the Browns?
This is real serious, and the Browns might not score a touchdown, but if they do, the best possible chance is Nick Chubb scoring.
Let's go. All right, Kay. Anytime touchdown score for the Steelers?
I'm going to go back to Najee. Browns allowing the 3rd most rushing touchdowns in the league this year. I say he punches it in. And there's our props, guys. If you love FanDuel, get on over there. 30% profit boost token to use on any live wager. We're doing live wagers for Thursday night Steelers-Browns game, kicking off Week 12 with some generosity from our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. You can use my props, the winning props usually, or Gronk's props, the losing props usually. Gronk, we love you. Loved seeing you. Can't wait for you to fight Shaq.
I'm going to knock him out first round, Kay. Pow!
I mean, there'd be some knocking out going on these things. All right, you're the best, Gronk. See you later. Bye-bye.